We have to start thinking like PR people who are trying to create these organic relationships, connect with people on a very organic level. That takes longer than just paying someone $1,000 to put you on TV. That takes you going out, speaking, connecting, telling people about your book, making people see you as an expert in this particular area. And that's exactly how you build the community that you need to build. Is what are we doing to present ourselves? What are we doing to build our brand? How effective are we in building our brand? Let's let Reggie be our prime example. If you look at his screen, he's got his book picture in one corner. He's got his social media links, handles behind him. And if you get an email from Reggie, there's a big picture of Reggie at the end of his signature line. Big full picture of Reggie. Reggie is a branding masterpiece. He gets it. And as social media, as self-published authors, we all need to get it at that level. We are our brand. We have to be positioning ourselves, letting people know who we are, letting people know that we wrote the book. We have to make sure we're putting our best face forward. And with that said, one of the key things that was in my PowerPoint that I wanted to talk about was that you have to make sure that what people see is the best version of you. So your cell phone is not going to take a professional picture of you. I said it. Everybody delete me now. That is the truth. Get a professional headshot. This is my number one pet peeve. I contact my writers. I say, hey, I want to highlight you in the newspaper. Send me a picture. And they send me a low-res picture. And when I say I can't use it, they get mad at me. And I'm like, invest in a professional headshot. That's the first thing I want every writer
to components. Then I want you to think of if you want a traditional book deal. The first is that you need a book idea with a defined readership. An easy way to say defined is like not everybody, right? Not everybody is going to read Aziza's speculative fiction book, right? My husband loves those books. I don't really like them, right? So I'm not going to pick up her book, whereas he would totally be into it, right? So like that's a defined readership. Second is a book proposal if you're writing nonfiction, or a finished manuscript if you're writing fiction or memoir, okay? So that's what you're submitting, that's what they're judging on. And the third thing is a platform or a proven way to sell books upon publication. So this is what I just caught the tail end of Reggie's presentation and Michelle's addition to it. This is sort of what they were talking about. It's very similar. From this talk, I want you to remember these three words. Platform is power. Okay, platform is power. So you might be wondering, what is a platform anyway? Platform is publishing jargon. What I like to think about is like back in like the 1850s when the guy would haul like the milk crate to the town square and stand upon it and talk, like soapbox, right? And like talk about it. That's sort of the idea, but now it happens on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and email, right? But it's that idea of like, here's my crowd of people that are listening to me. In most cases, you can swap the word author platform or the phrase author platform in for audience in a sentence and you'll be mostly right? There's some nuance, but it's really, really jargony and janky. So like, we don't have to worry about that. You can swap audience in and call it a day. For now, I want you to think about your platform as how you would sell your book and who you would sell it to. Platform growth and building is key for two reasons. First, you can't get a book deal without it, right? Especially if you've self-published before, because books are sort of like movies. The publisher assumes that the first one's going to sell the most. So if you put out a self-published book and it just didn't do very well, you're going to have to like really make a case that like everything has changed for your second book, right? Or if it's wildly different, right? If you wrote a children's book and it went nowhere, but you're going to write an adult nonfiction book, you can probably get away with that, right? Or you can take it, if you can take it down off somewhere, like that's the other advantage to what Reggie said before about not putting something on Amazon. If you have it on your website and nowhere else, it's really easy to take it down and take it away from the internet, right? Versus Amazon, where Amazon never forgets about anything. Second, I believe it's the key to a better book, especially in nonfiction, building your platform. Because when you've built an audience and a platform worthy of a book deal, you know your readers inside and out. You have a large following, true fans who you interact with on a daily basis. You know what they want, you know what they need. You've tested what strategies work, what messages resonate with them. You've really dialed in your content. You've established a marketing system that works. You have PR that works. And writing then becomes a lot easier too, because you know your voice really well.
What I encourage people to do, now, my clients, we go into great detail, but I encourage anyone to think beyond the book. What do you want to do with this? Because if you do not think beyond the book, if you do not strategize beyond the book, your book is going to have but a short shelf life. It will. So I ask my clients, what do you want to do once you release this? Do you want to be a professional speaker? Do you want to, I want to speak to young girls. I want to speak to young boys. I want to speak to women in this age group. I want to speak to men in this age group. I want to have a conference. I want to do a podcast. I want to do this. It's a lot that you can do, but you have to think beyond the book, because that's where you're going to build even more legacy and even more financial freedom, because the book is just your foundation, but you got to find everything else to how to build those walls up, put in some doors and some windows to get a great structure. And yeah, that your book can take you places. Your book can take you a lot of places. I'll just say that.